Hello,
Hi.
I'm Brendan. This is Ms. Trinavaya. I will be interviewing her today for our project. Alright, so what country are you from?
I'm from Russia.
What city in Russia are you from? And
Well-
where were you born?
I was born in Russia. I was born in this little town. It's called Solnichny. Where from, if you translate it from Russian in English, it means sunny. It's up in the mountains. You can never find it on the map. It's very tiny.
Alright, so how did you arrive to America from Russia?
Well, when I was in college, my sophomore year, we have this program, Work and Travel. It's very popular. It was available for students second, third, or fourth year of college. You can apply for a work visa. You can pick any place in the U.S. to go for the summer to practice English, to get some personal skills. So I really liked the program, jumped on board, and here I was.
Alright, so what was the weather like in Russia?
Cold. It doesn't matter what season you're in, it's cold. So
Alright.
even in the summer, it gets hot in the summer, but 5 in the morning it could be 30 degrees. But
Probably nothing like here though.
no, and by noon it could be 100 degrees. So the weather is very dramatic, and in the winter time it's 40 degrees below zero. 30 degrees below zero, it's cold. You can't just, people don't walk, people run. Because it's very cold.
Alright then. Are there any specific type of foods that you eat in Russia?
Yes, food is very different. We have this soup that's called borscht. It's bread. It's very communist inspired. It's made with beets and meat. It tastes good, but it's different. And then we eat a lot of hamburger. We eat ravioli stuffed with hamburger, and everything is covered with mayonnaise. There's only 2 dressings in Russia. It's oil and mayonnaise. That's it. There is no much alternative.
Alright, well, did you know English before you came to America?
Fortunately, yes. When I went to school, English was my major, so I started studying English since I was in 5th grade, then up until I graduated from high school, and then when I went to college, I studied English as my major, so I had some diverse and solid background when I came.
Alright, so what was life back when you were in Russia?
It was different. It was easy and it was difficult at the same time. It was easy because I had no responsibilities. I was a student. I didn't have to worry about putting food on the table, paying my bills because I didn't have any bills. I didn't have a car. So my major duties were just to go to school, do my assignments, and that's it. So in that sense, it was easy, but resource-wise, it was very limited. I didn't have a lot of money to go out or spend money on clothes, so it was a totally different scenario.
Alright. So, how did life change since you have arrived here?
Well, 10 years ago, I started at, when I first arrived here, my first job was working in a pizza place. Then I worked in tons of restaurants in Newport as a server, as a waitress. So back then, 10 years ago, it was very difficult. And now, once I went to college, I got a degree, it's changed dramatically. I have a full-time job here, and it's a lot more enjoyable now than it was 10 years ago.
That it is. Alright, so what is the biggest change?
Well, again, since when I arrived here, I was facing a responsibility of how to be independent, how to support yourself, so I was worried about having a job, having enough money to pay bills, and when I was in Russia, I didn't have to think about that. My first job was here, so I didn't work until I was 22, which was nice, but when I came here, it was very difficult and dramatic change.
So, do you have any family back in Russia?
Yes, all my family is there, so I don't get to see them often. The last time I saw all of my family was 7 years ago, and I get to see my mom almost every year, but again, all of them is there.
Well, at least you get to see someone from your family.
Yes.
Keep connections.
I agree, it's nice.
Do you ever wish that you could go back to Russia?
5 years ago, every time I had to go through hardship or I had a fight with my husband. I always thought how nice would it be to go back, have a life, worry-free life, somebody would take care of me. But then now, when life is stabilized, I have a full-time job and I'm happy, I'm very grateful that I'm here and that it's turned out to be this way.
That's good. That's good. Glad you're happy now.
I know.
So, what religion do people practice, and how is it important to like everyday life in Russia?
Main religion is Russian Orthodox, and religion becomes more and more popular. It brings people together because when it was communist country, religion was banned. People did not go to church, people did not celebrate religious holidays. Now it's slowly reviving. It's bringing people together. People go to church for Easter, people go to church for Christmas, people get together to honor the holidays, to honor the Lent. So it's slowly trickling back into people's lives.
That's good. At least it's finally coming back. You're going to come back now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what was it like being in a country known as a communist country?
Well, I don't remember much because when Soviet Union fell apart and it became Russian Federation, I was only 9 years old. It was in 1991. But I remember empty stores. To have a car, to buy a car, you have to stay in line for 2 years, 3 years, and you didn't have an option like you have now to go in the lot and you can just pick a different car. You want Toyota, you want Chrysler. There was only one type of car, Zhiguli, which looks like 97 Toyota. It wasn't very reliable. It's very square, and you had to wait for that for 3 years to buy.
You were pretty much just waiting for a box.
Yes,
Kinda.
yes.
A box on.
And the options were very limited, so different. It's a lot different. I also remember that we had cards, ratio cards for food. My family would get a certain amount of bread allowed per week, and you have to, with the card, you have to go to the store, and the store would give you bread. So what my father did, I don't know if he forged the cards or somehow, I remember that we would go to different stores and get the same amount of bread from different stores, and he would come back home with a huge sack of bread, and then we would eat bread for a week, and we roasted, we made croutons with that.
Sounds like a smart man.
I think he was. You had to be very resourceful, because when the government took everything from you and didn't support you, you have to came up with all these little tricks how to beat the system and survive.
Yeah. Alright. So, while you lived in Russia, did any like major historical events happen?
Yes. President Putin came to power, I believe in 1998, and this is his 4th term. So, do you know, according to Constitution, how many terms can a president serve?
2 years.
2 terms. 2
Oh,
terms.
2 terms. Yeah.
2 terms. Well, in Russia, it's his 4th term.
Alright.
So that kind of should tell you that although it's a democratic country, it is ran by one man, and
Alright.
freedom is very limited and options are very limited.
Alright, so as a citizen, what was the factor that made up your mind to stay in America?
Well, when I came here, the possibilities were limitless. America is the land of opportunities, and I saw that people are free in making choices. People have, if you would like to work and make money, you can. You don't have to have an education, but education certainly helps you to get a better job. But again, you can get by and still have things that it would be difficult to have the same level of, to have the same things and be able to afford things back home.
Alright. Well, I think that's all the time we have now, so thank you for helping us with our interview here,
Yeah.
and thank you for the audience for staying tuned.
Okay.
Oh, that's all.